Last year, the US burned 6.6 billion barrels of oil, 437 million tons of coal, and 210 cubic miles of natural gas. The burning of these fossil fuels resulted in the US producing 5.1 billion tons of carbon monoxide. The solution to this problem may be nuclear energy. Although there are drawbacks, I believe that the pros outweigh the cons. One of the advantages is that it has a very low CO2 emissions. Most of the emissions actually come from the mining, refining, and preparing of uranium for fuel rods. Also, it has a very high energy output. One nuclear reactor produces 1,000 watts of electricity. This is equal to 3,125,000 solar panels and 431 utility-scale wind turbines. It is also a very stable base load of energy, which means that it is very good for powering cities. It is also very reliable, which also makes it very good for powering cities. This means that if it's not windy or it's not sunny, it still produces energy 24/7, 365. Also, compared to other reliable renewable resources, it is a very small land footprint. So one nuclear facility takes up a lot less space than one solar facility or one wind facility that is producing the same amount of energy. It also produces a lot of jobs. Building the facility creates a lot of jobs, and then running the facility takes 300 to 400 people. But like all things, it has its drawbacks. One of the biggest ones is the radioactive waste that is the byproduct. 2,000 tons of it is created per year in the United States. But that is compared to 5.1 billion tons of CO2 that's produced from burning fossil fuels. 96% of spent fuel rods actually gets recycled and turned into MOX, or mixed oxide fuel. But the 4% that remains is the nuclear waste. What happens to it, it is combined with glass to decrease the radioactivity, and then it is sealed in a steel cylinder with inert non-reactive gases, and then those steel cylinders are put into giant concrete slabs that are basically impenetrable, so that way they can withstand basically anything that is thrown at them. And they are stored either at the plant or near the plant. One of the other big drawbacks is meltdowns. There have been 3 major meltdowns in all of nuclear energy history: Chernobyl, TMI, and Fukushima. Chernobyl and TMI were both over 40 years ago, and science has made leaps and bounds since then. We are not running on the same reactors that we were way back then. But Fukushima was a result of an earthquake and a tsunami, so that one can be chalked up to natural disasters. But a lot of nuclear facilities have taken notes from the Fukushima disaster and put in new procedures and restrictions that will help a lot in the case of natural disasters. Now, there are many upsides and a few big downsides to nuclear energy. But scientists predict that we will run out of oil by 2052, we will run out of natural gas by 2060, and we will be out of coal by 2088. That is scary. That is in our lifetimes. But scientists are also making advancements every day to nuclear energy to make it safer and more effective. They are actually researching thorium into a potential substitute for uranium because it is a lot less likely to melt down, but there is more research required. And with these advancements on the horizon, we should strive for a nuclear-powered future.